It's John Beaudin from Rock History Book, and today in history, I was going to say my childhood bedroom. It's not my childhood bedroom. And sorry, I forgot to bring a mic because of the acoustics in here. But this is my high school bedroom. This is where things went down, man. Not really, no. But anyway, this is what I did in high school. I'm just getting rid of some of these things so I can see what I'm actually. I did this in high school. Let me just get rid of this poster here so you can see before we get into today in history. Let's just do this. There we go. And get rid of that. There you go. Ouch, I just hit my leg. This is done in black light paint. Let me bring it up a little bit. This is my room. There's Boston BTO. My mother has not changed it. She kept it the same. Anyway, I came to visit my mom. She needed a little help, so I thought I'd come by. Anyway, today in history, August 23rd. And before we get going, if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description of this video. The greatest drummer, greatest drama, saddest life. I mean, most of you could tell by looking at the poster, the banner, who that was, of course. We'll get to him in a second. Born on this day, 1912. Of course, we're like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a little bit, where we go into surrounding genres that have eventually supported or influenced people to get into music. 1912, song and dance man Gene Kelly is born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He died at 83, had a long life. February 2nd, 1996. There you go. R&B singer Rudy Lewis of the Drifters is born Charles Rudolph Harrell in Philadelphia. He died at 27 years old, May 20th, 1964. He was young. 1938, songwriter-producer Roger Greenaway is born in Fish Ponds, Bristol, known for collaborations with Roger Cook, including I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. Wow. 1949, Rick Springfield is born Richard Lewis Springthorpe in southwest Worthville, New South Wales, Australia. Happy birthday to Rick Springfield. 1946, rock singer Jim Soanes of the Shadows of Night is born in Chicago. He dies at 75 years old. And da-dum, there he is. 1946, Keith Moon, drummer for The Who, is born in Wembley, London. Died at the age of 32, September 7th, 1978. This is some facts, interesting facts from Grunge magazine. Roger Daltrey had said of Moon, Keith lives his entire life as a fantasy. He was the funniest man I've ever known, but he was also the saddest man I've ever known. And he lived an untraumatized existence. His parents were very ordinary. There was nothing to report as far as his early life. There was just, you know what? There was nothing there that would create a crazed rock star. But it's nurture nature, right? I mean, it's like what you were taught, but also your wiring sometimes. And who knows what was in his wiring. A lot of people have speculated what Keith Moon might have had as far as what kept him going. Michael Morris was Keith Moon's best friend growing up in his teenage years, but sadly Morris died of a motorcycle accident in the late 1960s. It affected him an awful lot because they were incredibly close. And Keith Moon also once said that the only thing he and his bandmates in The Who had in common were the fact that was the music. They really, he said, didn't have an awful lot in common. Of course, everyone knew about his excessive drinking. Moon spoke of his behavior once to GQ magazine. When you've got money and you do the kinds of things that I get into, people laugh and say that you're eccentric, which is a polite way to say you're effing mad. He accidentally also drove over and killed his bodyguard, which is, look that up, there's a whole story on that. He was in recovery at the time of his death. They were recording Who Are You, the last studio album. Remember, he was sitting backwards on a chair that said not to be taken away, which is, wow, spooky, foreshadowing. And the remaining members, Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, John Entwistle, basically told Keith he had to get his act together because he's having problems drumming from his excessive lifestyle. So they said they were going to replace him, so he decided to do that. The night before he died, he went to a function with Paul McCartney and Linda, and he was very disappointed in himself that he indulged himself during that night. Now, doctors prescribed hemiphenephrine, that's it. But after he attended the whole soiree, he was very disappointed in himself. Instead of taking 2 pills, which he was supposed to, he took 32 pills on the morning of September 7th, 1978. So we lost him. It was an amazing thing. Notation-wise, Bonham's like this a little bit, where you're going, there's so much feel in his music that it's hard to replicate in some ways as far as notation. So may he rest in peace. I remember the day he died. It was shocking. 1951, rock vocalist Jimmy Jameson of Survivor is born in rural Mississippi. He died at the age of 63 on August 31st, 2004. Dean Deleo, guitarist for the Stone Temple Pilots, is born in Newark, New Jersey. People who died on this date: industrial techno musician Dwayne Geddall of Skinny Puppy dies of a heroin overdose in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, at the age of 31. Who else do we have? I think that's it. In 1963, in the UK, the Beatles released She Loves You, the beginning of many things. In 1967, the Beatles record Your Mother Should Know at Chapel Recording Studios in London. In 1969, the Rolling Stones' Honky Tonk Woman hits #1 in America, first of 4 weeks. Took me a lot of years to get into the Stones, but I finally did. In 1969, Johnny Cash's album Johnny Cash at San Quentin hits #1. In 1980, David Bowie, Ashes to Ashes, hits #1 on the UK charts. British boy band Take That released their debut album on this date in 1992. In 2004, the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, an awesome mix of the 70s hits, #1 in America. And on this date in 1970, Lou Reed plays his last gig with Velvet Underground at the Club Max Kansas City in New York. And, we got one more. And that's not for it. One of my favorite interviews. In 2000, Kenny Loggins is awarded a star on a Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well-deserved. Really nice guy. And Brian May. In 2007, Brian May of Queen gets his degree from London's Imperial College. Thank you, everyone who basically came on here in my high school bedroom. Think about it. Let me take you on a little soiree here. This is, I got some lights on here, so I can't go too far. It started with April Wine, which is, you can see right there. Let me put April Wine right in the middle, right? Oh God, I'm bad at this. Anyway, it started with April Wine. Then I did Trooper, Chicago, Heart, Styx, Pablo Cruz, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Bachman rather. But this is my bedroom. And next summer, I'm going to, it's extra wide sheetrock. I'm going to attempt to take it off and bring it to my house, because eventually my mother will move out of this house. She's 87 right now, but she's doing really well. So that's what it is. If you want to support the channel, remember you can. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do that. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much every day for coming on and talking about rock history. There's many times we thought of stopping this, but we really enjoy doing it. So we want to continue. Sorry about the bad lighting. Sorry about the fact that I didn't bring a mic with me. This is John Beaudin from Rock History Book.